What's up, everybody? It's your boy Also Do back with another video. Before we get started, don't forget, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you're thinking. Also, don't forget, go ahead and join that channel. That channel helps out. Just a monetary donation from you, a small amount up to a pretty good amount. With those amounts, you get different things, different perks. So check that out. The link will be in the description box below. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, before we begin, Merry Christmas to all y'all. All right, if you're watching this after Christmas, then still Merry Christmas. Because you ain't watching beforehand, so I ain't get to tell you. So Merry Christmas. Say it back. Thank you. No, but seriously, I hope all y'all have a safe Christmas, all right? All right, so I came across this video on Facebook. It was posted in one of those law enforcement group chats. And there was this long commentary about it. And I was like, I'm not going to read that. Let me watch the video. And then I clicked on the video and it took me to YouTube, and then I saw the title. I was like, let's just do a video on this. So I've not seen the video yet. I seen the title. It says the officer got shot 6 times, I believe, and that he was able to survive and shoot the guy back. So let's check that out. I'm glad that we survived already from the beginning. All right, so he's calling this in right now. He just now turned his lights on. So what this looks like is a motorist assist call. It can be like technically titled whatever in different places. But in my department, we call it a 1089, motorist assist. And that's just a car that's broke down and they need our help, right? Now, without even looking at this video, personally for me, I hate 1089s. Like I told y'all before, I look at like videos like this all the time. I love looking at other cop videos. To me, it's real educational, beneficial to look at. All right. And typically on these motorist assist calls, I'm not gonna say typically because we go to these calls all the time, but typically officers to relax on these type of calls, right? And to me, you never know what you're walking up on. I treat it like it's a traffic stop, okay? And I hate treating it that way because these people, they did nothing wrong. They didn't commit a crime, and it really shouldn't be treated like a traffic stop, but that's how I treat it. Because I don't know what I'm walking up on, especially if they aren't the ones that call. And believe it or not, most of the times they aren't the ones that call. That's what makes it more scarier. Because most of the time it's either ride up on it or it's somebody that's driving by them like, oh, I think they need help. Let me call the police, get them some help. To me, if they don't call, they don't need help. But I treat it like it's a traffic stop because I never want to roll up on somebody not knowing what they got going on. They could have just robbed the bank. They could have just killed somebody at their house and they're trying to leave them. The car just happened to break down. They could have been involved in a shooting and their car got shot up and now their car won't drive, so they're stuck. You never know these type of things. So that's always going on in my mind on a 1089 call, right? And I hate when I see officers get these calls and they get so relaxed and they're going up there like there's no danger in that car at all. Don't know that. All right, so already for this call, I'll be on my tippy toes already. Immediately. And so before watching already, that whoever's in the car, just open up the door real quick and shut it. This is not typical for 1089, okay? Typically people that are good people, they're gonna see the police show. Guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna get out their car and start walking back towards you. Oh, hey, thank you for coming. This is what's wrong with our car. That's typically what happens. They got the car, they're coming back. For somebody to open up the car door and shut it back, what's going on? What are you doing? All right. So more stuff like that is will be going through my mind. Did it again. Gosh. Can you tell who's shooting? Oh, yes, sir. Okay, I believe I just heard the other officer say who else is inside the car. That's something I was just about to point out. Now, obviously, I cannot blame this officer at all. What just happened would definitely throw all my thinking off, 100%. But obviously, looking from the outside, we can give feedback based on what we should do in the situation, even though our mind's going to a totally different place. We don't know what else is inside the car, or should I say, who else is inside the car. So I would have taken care of that guy and then came back to my car, wait for other people to show up, and then tried to see who else is inside that car. But definitely good job so far. Definitely. So I'm not sure exactly what this officer thinks that he's hearing. We can hear the gunshots on the camera, which means that inside of his car it should still be picking them up pretty good because the microphone is inside the car. And typically, cameras have that period of that like 2 minutes or whatever before your camera turns on. But looks like he was already blocking traffic for the first officer, so he's just sitting back there with his lights on, so he's already recording. I'm not sure what he's thinking he's hearing right now. I don't know. So he's speeding up now. Westbound 44 southbound. Westbound 44 southbound. Officer screaming on the radio. 83 shots fired. 76, 30, 31, 30. 36, 61, other round. 83. Or 93, 81, I got an officer shot. We have an officer. Officer shot. One subject down. Officer shot. One subject down, unknown if anybody else is in the car. Confirm location. Westbound 44, east of Elm. Elm. FX is probably from Murdoch. 7630, you have cars around. All right, so the officer's putting on a tourniquet. I would definitely say this officer did a fantastic job. All right, to get shot, Prince shot 6 times. He probably doesn't even know he shot 6 times. He's way too calm to know he shot 6 times. This is definitely an ambush thing. All those times that dude was opening up that car door, he was thinking. And then probably what it was, he couldn't see back to the car. So he opened up the car door, seeing where he's at, seeing when he's coming up. And he's just waiting for an officer to show up. Luckily, he got an officer that had that fight in him, and that officer was able to still think clearly enough to shoot back. But for me personally, here's what I don't do, okay? Sometimes you see officers on the side of the road, and as other officers, they'll sometimes drive right by, okay? I don't care what type of call it is. I stop every time, promise you. I don't care what call it is. I was working off duty the other day, and technically, you're not really supposed to leave off duty like that. Or some will let you go get food, come back. But the only times you're really supposed to leave is if there's like a signal 0 call coming out, which signal 0 for us is like officer down, needs immediate assistance. So everybody will go, like city, county, anybody will start coming. And that's really the times that you leave your off-duty spot. There's some other situations, if the city's like going batshit crazy and they need people, yeah, you would leave. But I had left to go get some food, and the car came out, saying something about shots fired around the corner. Everybody's tied up. His officer's actually around the corner, so it sounded to him. And typically, we don't assign calls based off location. Okay, it's whoever beat it is. And this guy was not, it wasn't his beat, and he was a second shift car. It was third shift. So he shouldn't have got the call, but they gave it to him because of his location. And I looked at the map, and everybody's pretty far out, and I was supposed to be back on Code 9. I drove my tail to him, and I stayed there till other officers got there. That's what we should do. I don't stay in the city that I work in. But even going to work, coming from work, if I see another officer that somebody pulled over, or typically a deputy, I'm stopping. Okay, are you good? The officer I talked about in my last video, that back brace video with the shoes and all that shit, the officer that I talked about in there, my FTO, that didn't wear his vest, here's something he would not let me do in FTO. Typically, we'll be on a traffic stop, and officers will stop as they drive by, most of them. And they'll do that whole thing where they're like, you good? And they give you a thumbs up. Oh my gosh, this FTO hated that. We 100% of the times had to pull up, park, and get out and make sure they were okay. And even when the officers are like, oh, we're good? Nah, majority of the time, you're like, we're gonna sit here and make sure you're good. Now, I don't go that far. If you say you're good, I'm gonna believe you, and I'm gonna go on about my day. But I don't drive up beside you and give you that thumbs up. I'm gonna get out my car. I'm gonna make sure you see what you got. Because I'd rather be 2 of us than just 1 of you. So I'm always gonna stop. But back to the video. This is a great job, man. Definitely a great job. So leave y'all comments in the comments below. Tell me what you think about the video. I'll see y'all next time, all right? Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Remember, leave that comment, and I'll see y'all next time. Adios.